Hey everybody, and welcome to Cooking Adventures with Katie. Season 2.5. On today's episode, we are going to be doing egg rolls. I'm going to have an egg roll in a bowl, which means the only thing I'm going to be missing is the wrap. And then I'm going to fry up the rest of it for David. And to be honest with you, with the amount of stuff that I have, we're never going to buy egg rolls ever again because we're going to have them at home for the rest of our lives. The recipe, if you're doing a single batch, and here's the reason why I have so many. I'm going to be making such a large batch. So if you're doing a single batch, you need a tablespoon of soy sauce, a teaspoon of cornstarch, a pound of ground pork. I have shrimp because they were on sale today. A half head of cabbage, 6 shiitake mushroom heads, a cup of julienned carrots, 2 cloves of finely minced garlic, a teaspoon of grated ginger, 1 tablespoon of rice wine or dry sherry, a 1.5 tablespoon, a separate tablespoon of soy sauce, a quarter teaspoon of sugar, a 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and pepper to taste. So that is one batch of egg roll. I decided I wanted to do egg rolls and bought 2 heads of cabbage because I thought egg rolls will be a lot. And green cabbage is normal, but ooh, look, a purple one. That'll make it colorful. And then I found this recipe and was like, well, looks like I'm doing a quadruple batch. So I have a head of purple lettuce, cabbage, a head of green cabbage, about an onion cut up because I decided I wanted to add onion, 6 cloves of garlic. I've only got the 6 heads of the shiitake mushrooms because they were $3 a piece for 6, and that would have been $12, and no. I've got probably 3 teaspoons of ginger, probably a cup of julienned carrots because it's all we have, and then I have the 4 pounds of shrimp. So, yeah, so we're gonna get everything started. Now, at the very beginning, you want to marinate your pork or chicken or shrimp or whatever in soy sauce, some cornstarch. Soy sauce and some cornstarch. You want to marinate it for 10 minutes. While you're marinating it, cut up your cabbage. If you only have a half head of cabbage, that'll be fine. It'll take about 20 minutes for the whole thing. Along with julienning your carrots, that might take 10 minutes. Or if you're like me, you should have started marinating them like an hour ago when you started cutting everything, and it would be delicious. So, yeah. Cooking adventures. So, that being said, Cooking Adventures with Katie. Doo-doo-doo. Season 2.5. Alright, so you want to have your bowl, and you want to have your 1 tablespoon if you're doing a single batch, or 4 tablespoons if you're doing a full batch of soy sauce in your bowl. And make it a larger bowl than what you actually have your meat put out into. So if you think it's going to take up the size of a bowl, just go ahead and just size it up. 3 and 4. And then now I need 4 teaspoons of cornstarch, or just 1 if you're doing the single batch. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. No mess my butt. No mess cornstarch, yay! No, it's everywhere. add in your protein. I need to drain this a little bit. Frozen. All right. So add in your protein. Whoop. And then find a spoon of some sort. That'll work. All of our regular utensils are being marinated in mineral oil because they're wood. So yeah, just mix everything up. And then let this sit for about 10 minutes. I'm sure if you let it sit for more, it's not going to hurt it. So if you're slow at cutting cabbage and stuff, it's not going to be the end of the world, I promise. And yeah, more or less, depending on what kind of meat you have, it should look something along the lines of that. So, alright, so we're going to set this aside and marinate, and in the meantime we are going to do something with the rest of this stuff. Okay, so pretty much what we're doing now is we're waiting the 10 minutes for that to finish marinating, and then we're going to start cooking it. But if you're watching this and you're like, okay, I have everything, get that started and then cut up your veggies, and while you're doing that you'll be occupied instead of just sitting around with your thumb up your butt like I am, waiting on the vegetables or waiting on the marinating. But once that's done, you want to take a wok or a really big really big pan with a hide top if you have one, because we're going to be cooking it. I'm going to end up having to cook this in batches, so yeah, we'll see how this works out. Alright, so it's been 15 minutes. In your large saute pan or wok, you want to put it on high, but I'm going to put mine a little bit low so it's high on everybody else's book. Okay. Alright, and that's already warm, so then you want to add some oil, cooking oil, to coat the bottom. So your meat will not stick. Alright. And now if you're doing raw meat like chicken or pork, you want to cook the meat until there's no more pink. And I think you just want to, yeah, just dump it in there, sauce and all. Add some of the marinade. Alright, that'll be our first pound. Okay, so since this is already pre-cooked, I'm just heating this up. But, so I'm going to still let this cook for a couple of minutes. But once your meat is no longer pink, and it's cooked, then you want to push your meat off to the side and add in the other ingredients, and I'll tell you what they are. So I'll see you in a couple minutes. Alright, now you want to turn your pan to medium-low. About there. Push your meat to the side. Alright. And then you want to add in your cabbage. No, your garlic first. So your garlic, and then your cabbage. Okay, and then garlic, cabbage, carrots, ginger. Note that I'm not following the portions for these. And mushrooms. Alright. Stir fry for a minute until the vegetables are soft. Alright, so once that's done, you want to add in a tablespoon of your rice wine, a tablespoon and a half of soy sauce, a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, and a teaspoon of sesame oil, and then your black pepper. Alright, and that's to taste, so and cook this for, continue stir frying for 1 to 2 minutes. Just enough time for you to get out a cookie sheet and angle it in such a way. Okay, so cookie sheet, actually. Got it. I need more counter space. Those are not on, the oven is not on. Put this here, but it needs to be angled, so we'll use these. Yeah, maybe. Is there another one? Do you like this maybe? Be better angle? Yeah, it's angled. Let's see if I can make it. It's not gonna go any higher than that. Alright, so you want it to be angled down. Alright, so then we take this and we put it onto our, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. Put it onto your cookie sheet. And you want it angled up so all of your moisture drains down. And you want to spread this out and let it cool. Give it 15 minutes to let it cool. So while you're waiting, I'm going to start on my next batch, and it'll be 8:30 when I come back to you. So yeah, but you see all the liquid draining down that way. You want your liquid to be outside of your egg rolls because you don't want soggy egg rolls if you're rolling them. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start on this next batch, and see you in a little bit. Alright, so if you are cool like me, you have realized that you in fact have an over-the-sink colander that you can put everything in and let it drain. Also, if you're cool like me, you'll have one of these things that you can fill up with water and put your spring rolls in on the other side for easy wrapping. So, Now, in this case, spring rolls and egg rolls are the same thing in terms of wrapper. The Americanized egg roll is, to my understanding, an SRS project. And for those of you who do not live near the Savannah River site, down in Augusta, there's many bugs that are strange and deformed and Spider-Man-like in terms of bugs. So we call them SRS bugs because they are contaminated by, I don't know, nuclear stuff. Even though they're not, they're just weird. So anyway, so you want to take your wrapper, dip in the water, spin it around. Now you want your wrapper to be fully wet. I did not put enough water in this, which means I need to add more. So you want this completely wet. And then you're going to lay it onto your wrapping area. Actually, I'm going to put this around one more time. There we go. All right. So we have a wrapping area, and then you want to take a spoon, and you want a heaping spoonful. All right. And then we're going to pull this kind of towards here. We're going to wrap this up a couple of times. And kind of keep everything together as best you can. Alright, when you get about halfway, you're going to fold your corners in. Alright, corner, corner, and then roll it up the rest of the way tightly. Because the tighter your egg roll, the less likely it's going to be soggy. So, something like this. And now this is my first egg roll, so it's a little bit wobbly, but all in all, not bad. So yeah, and that's it until we fry. So I'm gonna get started, and I'll see you when I have a stack, I suppose. Alright, quick, while it's at 300. I'm filming, by the way.
Okay. Come on.
No, you're not supposed to stick to the microwave!
Hi, baby.
There we go.
Hi, baby. Oh, you good girl. Come on. Come on.
Oh, and bubbles. Parker paper was a bad idea. Should have gotten better parchment paper. It's funny how it just like develops a bubble. Alright, and then until it's golden brown. Alright, so it was decided to taste these before we continue on frying them. These are, oh, that's super duper, I shouldn't have left that in the water. These are previous spring roll wraps that we got in the past, so these are not what I bought today. Today on the wrapper it was like, you can fry these, they'll brown. But these did not, so I suppose we'll just kind of see what they look like. Or taste like, I suppose. But they were in there for a couple of minutes. I mean, they're hard. So, once they cool down a little bit, we'll see what they taste like. All right. Now, actually, I have one of the other wrappers in there now. Seeing how those. This is delicious. They're not brown like an egg roll, but they're definitely. It probably just wasn't fried the right way. I probably should have used like butter or something, but these are good. I approve. Egg rolls forever and ever and ever and ever. And these, there's like 30 cards and like between 7 of them. So if I have one, it's okay. Things I learned: either get a bigger pot or start small. Ended up not using all the cabbage. I still have like well over half of my purple cabbage left. Yeah, egg rolls are worth it, but not the day you do them. Because if you're hungry now, don't make them. Wait till tomorrow, or eat first. But worth it. Approved. These are delicious. So thank you for watching Cooking Adventures with Katie. Traditional or Chinese egg rolls, I suppose. Less Americanized Chinese egg rolls, we'll put it that way. Yeah. Like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions or any tips. Shoot me a message, let me know. I'm actually, after I eat this one, I'm gonna finish frying other ones, and then I'm just gonna make me a bowl of the filling, which is freaking delicious. And I'm just gonna eat that while I'm frying these. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Happy cooking!